On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, technology making land surveying easier. The best way to track and find your lost luggage. The right way to invest using a 1031 exchange. High-quality recruiting done by only professionals. We'll visit a company who's manufacturing high-quality glass and a firm who's helping surgeons perform at their best and save lives. There's a lot that goes into construction projects. Most importantly, the land survey. It's vital to establish lines and boundaries of all potential projects. These land surveys are needed in the beginning, middle, and end to help the developer understand how to use the land, where to build structures, and so much more.
What a land surveyor does is actually takes accurate measurements of the land. The most important thing is actually to know the boundary of the land, to know where the property lines begin, where the property lines end. Then actually they do lay it out in the field physically where the properties begin and where the properties end. For example, William Penn laid out the whole city of Pennsylvania. In order to create the grid system in Manhattan, it had to be laid out in the field where the boundaries of all the streets and all the properties begin and where it ends. Another important feature of surveying is actually to do the topography of the land. You're measuring the elevations of the land, how the water is flowing across land, and what your terrain looks like so you can figure out how to build roads, where to place houses, where to put everything. Clearpoint Services offers all types of surveying. There's no job that's too small for us, and actually I like doing every job and we love challenges.
Land surveying is so important because everything from pre-construction to post-construction, it is the beginning, the middle, and the end. The reason why is anything that has to be designed, they need to know the size of the property, they need to know the conditions of the property, whether it's hills, rocks, whether there's utilities that they plan on connecting to. Everything starts and ends with the surveys.
When you start construction, the surveyor has to come and lay out the land, where the property is. You have to show where the building is going to go. That's actually where we have robotics. We come out and verify the foundation was placed in the right spot. Nobody wants to build a building and then find out that they put the building in the wrong spot. So you verify the foundation first. After construction, they want a survey of the entire site to make sure everything was built correctly. The building height, the buildings aren't too tall. The building is located in the proper place. The storm sewer has been built correctly. The sanitary sewer has been built correctly.
When it comes to surveying the land for a construction project, technology and survey knowledge are the most valuable asset.
Clearpoint Services is definitely technology driven. This is an ever-evolving industry. The technology is always evolving, and so are we. We're always implementing the new, best, accurate information that we can, both for our clients as well as for ourselves.
I'm addicted to technology, and we all have the latest technology. We do with surveys with drones. You can actually measure huge amount of topography of lands. We can actually measure physical features on properties. Everything with the drones. You have a built-in GPS system on the drone that correlates the cameras. The key is to be successful in surveying is increasing productivity. The more you can produce, the better you can do. That's why we introduce robotics. That's why we have the drones. We actually have robotic rovers running around properties doing construction layouts, showing where every part of a building supposed to go on a property is gonna be. We take our job seriously. I care about my customers. We stick with a project and we get it done.
If you'd like more information, visit their website, clearpointservices.com, or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Amidst the 100,000 global daily flights, airlines are managing an intricate and complicated web of operations. Although rare, it's understandable that some baggage doesn't reach its intended destination as expected. Inside the Blueprint caught up with Gabriel Menkin, founder of Blue Ribbon Bags, to learn more.
My name is Gabriel Menkin. I'm the CEO of Blue Ribbon Bags. We are the world's leader in airline lost luggage retrieval.
Blue Ribbon Bags supports air travelers in times of distress and uncertainty when luggage is lost.
People pay us a $5 service fee before they leave. In the event the airline loses their bag, for the first 96 hours of it being lost, we will track and expedite the bag's return. In the event that we are not able to facilitate the bag's return in 96 hours, we provide them a satisfaction guaranteed payment of $1,000 for each bag we can't recover.
Blue Ribbon Bags is able to activate its retrieval services across any commercial airline travel itinerary.
We're appropriate for anyone who's checking a bag. It really makes no difference how old you are or where you come from or where you're going. If you're checking a piece of luggage, the idea that it may get lost is something that's important to you, and we are able to protect that bag no matter what.
Leveraging its proprietary technology and unique bagging tracking system, they're able to focus on finding your lost luggage.
The airline's doing as best as they can with the limited circumstances that they have available to them. Our job is to try and make that process a little bit better and keep the communication with the customer as fluid as possible.
Communication is at the core of Blue Ribbon Bags' service offering, quickly updating travelers with the status of their lost luggage.
When somebody has a lost bag, we are sending them real-time email, SMS, and WhatsApp notifications every time there's a change to the status of their bag in real time, as well as regularly. The first thing we're going to tell you is exactly where your bag is. Additionally, and infinitely more important than that, is when you're getting your bag back, what forwarding flight it's going to be on, what time that flight is going to land. You're going to want to know that that bag actually made it on that flight. You want to know that that flight has now arrived and the airline is in possession of your bag. We are going to keep you informed every step of the way with as much information as possible.
Ease of purchase goes hand in hand with their mission to lessen the stresses of travel.
The good thing about Blue Ribbon Bags is that we're covering every flight everywhere. As a B2B business, we're selling our service on all sorts of online travel sites and through travel agencies, credit card companies, travel insurance companies. Any company that's really surrounding the travel experience will sell Blue Ribbon Bags.
Grounded in its confidence that Blue Ribbon Bags will be able to locate and return a traveler's lost luggage, they offer a guaranteed payment if bags are not returned within 4 days.
Every time you lose your bag, it is a crisis. You always want to get your stuff back. And so when you've lost your bag and you don't necessarily have a handle on when you're getting it and it's going to be this much time until you're getting it back, that anxiety of needing to know where it is and knowing that it's definitely going to come to you builds up, and that ultimately becomes a crisis. There are people who have medicine inside their bag, who have things that are not replaceable inside their bag. And so it's important for these people to know that somebody is on top of it for them and to know that it's as important to us as it is to them.
To ensure your peace of mind on your next plane trip, visit blueribbonbags.com. And of course, visit us at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Real estate investing is an exciting and confusing industry. With tons of laws on things you can and cannot do, it's important to educate yourself on the details.
I actually began my career doing tax returns for the rich and famous in Beverly Hills. The IRS actually issued a revenue ruling that kind of gave birth to this whole industry and allowed the DST, or the syndicated real estate offering, to qualify for Section 1031 exchange. Many of our clients come to us and they say, why haven't we heard about DSTs before? So what we would like to do today is introduce you to an entirely new concept in real estate investing that combines the power of Section 1031 exchange and the Delaware Statutory Trust, also known as the DST. So a DST is not only an investment vehicle to invest in institutional grade properties, but it's also the only way that you can invest in real estate on a tax deferred basis without being a landlord. Because the identification rules for 1031 exchange allow you to go into multiple properties, and because the investment minimums for the DST is as low as $100,000, we can diversify an investor into multiple properties, multiple asset classes like multifamily, these beautiful Class A multifamily properties, best of class, maybe 300 to 500 unit new constructed apartment complexes, or maybe even to a single offering with as many as 20 to 30 triple net retail stores like Walgreens and CVS and Walmart, for example.
Yeah, there's three basic premise for an exchange. When you give up ownership of property, it has a certain value. And with an exchange, you need to replace that full value. Well, that value is typically made up of two things: the amount of cash that comes from a sale and the amount of debt on the property. So to fully replace an investment, you got to replace that value and put all the cash back in. And if you're replacing that full value, you got to come up with the rest of the money to buy the property. So normally you're going to get more debt again. So on the sales side, there's cash and debt. And basically, to replace that full value, you got to put all the money back in and go borrow more money on the replacement side.
For a 1031 exchange, ideally you're looking for a stable asset, stable income, growth potential, and most regular folks wouldn't know where to find that property. And so they need someone to source the property for them, to conduct the due diligence, to negotiate the loan, to manage the property. It's a turnkey investment. It's a calling. You have to really have a knack. You have to have a thirst for finding the real estate, financing the real estate, managing the real estate, working within this structure called a DST, and making all the pieces and parts work together. DSTs are sold like securities. They are a security. They're like stocks and bonds, and they're sold through a private placement memorandum, which is essentially a disclosure document. It describes the sponsor, the property, the financing, the market. Anything that is relevant to that property and that offering will be fully disclosed in great detail in the private placement memorandum. And that makes it easy to study a property.
Well, because of Cornerstone's extensive experience over 20 years, we have deep relations with all the sponsors, as well as we've been through two major economic recessions. We've learned an incredible amount of lessons about real estate investments, and we have deep knowledge of the tax law, both in structuring your 1031 exchange coming into it and also out of the investment, but also how to shelter that cash flow from federal and state income tax.
If you'd like more information on how a 1031 exchange could help you, visit their website, cornerstonedst.com, or watch this segment again at insidetheblueprint.com. Recruiting the right candidate for any job opening is a process, a long one that takes an incredible amount of time and specialized expertise.
As far as hiring, a lot of companies think that they don't need the use of a search firm or somebody who specializes in a given area because they have their own internal human resources department who's going to be doing the recruiting for all of their areas internally. And that's a problem. It's a problem because human resource people, unless you have an army of human resource folks, they just don't know enough about each given area. They don't specialize as we do here at Search Masters and MacInnis Ward. What we do is we streamline the process. We make it very efficient. We make hires that are a good use of people's time.
If you don't want to waste time sifting through hundreds of resumes or interviewing the wrong candidates, it's time to hire a professional employment recruiter. With over 25 years in the business, Search Masters and MacInnis, Ward & Associates have helped hundreds of companies find the right talent.
What we do mostly is permanent direct hire recruiting. And there are two types of permanent direct hire recruiting: a contingency basis and a retained search basis. The retained search, that's mostly C-level positions that are, at such a level that a company will only want to retain a single search firm to conduct a search for a given role. And what that means by retaining them is they will pay upfront a portion of the fee before the search gets started and then pay the balance once the search has been successful. We are a contingency basis. That's what we do mostly. What does that mean? The only money it costs a firm is if we are able to successfully place a person with that firm. We only get paid upon a successful search. We have a big advantage over what a company might be able to do because of the years of experience that we've have in our given areas of expertise. First thing that we do is we go to our database. Our database is extensive, over 30 years worth of candidates that we've accumulated over the years. That is by far one of the best values that we're able to bring. We've already started a search before we even got the job because we have all of this data, all of these people in our database. How we're able to maximize our clients' time and use of time is by presenting them only a handful, a small handful of qualified candidates that match those job descriptions that a company is looking for in a particular role.
There's also a place to use outside agencies such as Chris's because they have a wide range of folks that go to them and they have contacts with that we don't have. You know, a couple of words that describe Chris that are kind of unique in his industry is honesty and integrity. Chris has both of those traits. I trust him implicitly. If Chris is sending me a candidate, Chris did a lot of homework on that candidate.
Over time, technology and other factors are changing the landscape of recruiting. We adapt to these changes. We're able to tap into new technologies. We're able to work with new technologies to identify top talent a lot faster, a lot quicker, and more efficient than what internal human resource departments are able to do.
To learn more, visit their websites. Search mastersny.com or McGinnisWard.com. Or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. From unique shower doors to beautiful glass canopies, there's an immense amount of time and technology needed to create such beautiful pieces.
When it comes to glass, a lot of the misconceptions often are, everything's cut to size. There's zero tolerances when it comes to glass. So if an opening, or a doorway is 3 by 7, whatever it may be, that doorway is always going to be out of plumb, out of square, to some extent, whatever it may be, whether it be 10 inches, whether it be 1/8 of an inch. And you can't shrink the glass, you can't grow the glass, so everything has to be customized as per the existing opening.
Jerome Aluminum is a third-generation glass fabrication company that handles everything from the measurements to the installation.
Jerome started in 1961. My father started the company. He ran it for about 20 years. I took the company over when I was 23 years old, 1981. And Jerome, has grown tremendously over the last 40 years. We primarily focus on interior glazing for hotels, condos. We've done probably the most high-profile jobs in the city in reference to interior glazing.
With project managers and glazing specialists, Jerome Aluminum can handle any glass project.
As far as shower doors go, for example, we have essentially local fabricators that we turn to. They do all the notching, the drilling, the tempering, things like that. As far as mirrors go, we stock ton of mirrors. We have automated cutting tables, polishing machines, drills, you name it. That stuff we do ourselves.
We spend a tremendous amount of time with our customers and building relationships. And it's not just a saying, it's what we believe in. Without a customer, you have no business. So it's easy to lose a customer. It's very hard to obtain a new customer. And we do everything we can to satisfy them.
Being so close with the people here and our customers and clients, the family-oriented environment, atmosphere that we try to cultivate, they can rely on us because of it. They can depend on us because of it. And we, by treating them like family and such close friends, because they are family or such close friends, we feel we owe that to them also. I would never let my sister, my mom, my dad, my cousin down if I could help it. And I treat my customers and my peers the same way.
To learn more about how to get a custom glass piece for your home or business, visit their website, jeromeglass.com. Throughout the years, hand tools have evolved and been used in many industries, from gardening to aerospace. But when it comes to taking care of the most amazing machine in the world, the human body, doctors want to make sure they have the finest tools at their service. Let's see how one company has helped surgeons and their teams perform at their best.
Gsource started off as a supplier of orthopedic instruments, but they have quickly grown to supply other surgical specialties as well as general instruments. Gsource was founded in 1999 to bridge the gap between high-quality engineering and surgical requirements, all while being affordable.
Surgeons are some of the most highly skilled professionals in the world, and as such, they need the finest instruments in their hand to perform at their best.
Gsource combines fine craftsmanship and the best surgical stainless steel.
All instruments are not created equal. An instrument produced with a spirit of quality behind it is going to function the first time and function every time. Having that kind of faith in what's in your hand is crucial to maintaining focus in the OR, reducing complications, and improving patient turnout.
Whether crafted from German surgical stainless steel or machined from US surgical stainless steel, Gsource products are recognized as the finest instruments. When you have a Gsource product in your hand, you could tell it's a quality instrument by its look, its feel, the amazing craftsmanship, and detail.
Many surgical instruments are handcrafted by experts, not mass-produced.
In the modern age, handcrafted instruments are becoming increasingly rare. But at Gsource, we believe that a fusion between traditional craftsmanship and modern manufacturing technology is crucial to producing a functional and aesthetically pleasing instrument. The science that supports our operations are things such as multi-axis CNC machining, laser cutting, and chrome coating. And recently we've been expanding our operations with biocompatible implant materials, things like titanium, cobalt chromium, alongside our more traditional stainless steel.
The type of materials used and their craftsmanship has made Gsource a trusted and reliable partner for many world leaders and innovators in orthopedics and spine procedures.
We have been using Gsource instruments exclusively for the past 8 to 9 years because the craftsmanship and the quality has been truly exceptional. In addition, the refurbishment department, which is led by Louis, is just great. The instruments arrive back in perfectly reconditioned form, sharp and ready to use.
A good surgical instrument is like a work of art, and a strict focus on quality and progressive improvement on our procedures ensures that we're going to be producing the highest quality instruments and also able to provide them to as many medical professionals and support them as much as possible. When it comes to our product development initiatives, usually that'll start with a 3D CAD model, or if we're basing it off of an existing device, we'll utilize what we've produced before, and then we'll make the necessary modifications. But from that, we'll usually start with 3D printing, and then we'll see how the device functions when it's actually been brought into the real world. And then from that, we'll take that prototype and then we'll machine it out of either bar stock or utilizing standard forgings. And then we'll take that into the OR and maybe sit on a surgery or see, what the surgeon thinks when it sits in their hand.
With an extensive catalog containing more than 4,000 instruments, primarily used in orthopedic and spinal procedures, no wonder they're one of the leading surgical instrument suppliers.
Our surgical instruments range from bone cutters to K-wires, rod shears to rongeurs. Basically anything that you could think of that's involved in orthopedic or spinal surgery, we carry in our inventory. As for custom instruments, we take your blueprint and bring it to life. Our production capabilities include utilizing standardized forgings to make our instruments, cutting parts out of bar stock, or machining complex designs.
Gsource engineers work with original equipment manufacturers to assist doctors and hospitals in developing custom instruments, from prototypes to full-run production, as well as modified and improved versions of standard instruments.
A good example of a Gsource progressive improvement would be our slip joint pliers. So our traditional slip joint pliers are produced from stainless steel, but we had found that during implant surgeries when these are used, that they would possibly damage or scrape the implant, which increases the risk of the procedure. But we went back to the drawing board and we found that by replacing the jaws of the device with a synthetic material called PEEK, it removes the possibility of damaging the device while still maintaining a functional and secure grip.
Gsource also stretches into the wider community, partnering with Focos, an organization that provides comprehensive, affordable orthopedic care for underserved communities in sub-Saharan Africa.
Focos has provided care for nearly 50,000 patients. Gsource is proud to support Focos in all its endeavors for nearly a decade by providing them with much-needed surgical instruments.
Gsource is committed to putting the finest instruments into the hands of surgeons and their teams.
To find out more about how Gsource offers unique solutions from its highly skilled engineering team and sales force, visit gsource.com. And of course, visit us at InsideTheBlueprint.com. We're living in a digital age, and it's time companies start improving their workflow. We'll take a look at companies that are helping to digitize the workplace to unlock productivity and expand your digital footprint.
It's clear we're in an unprecedented time right now. All businesses are thinking through the future of work. For those that are successful in the pivot to the future of work, will be the ones that not only survive in this unique time, but will thrive. One of the challenges with a millennial workforce is they're very, very accustomed to working with applications. So those applications are very user-friendly, very interconnected. So right now, the best chance of success is moving that into the workplace.
Jeff Gevanazzo developed Pathways Consulting Group to help enterprises all over the country invest in the best digital transformations.
I worked at a lot of software companies, good software companies, but I was frustrated by the way they treated their customers. I started Pathways because I believe customers deserve the successful outcomes they signed up for, along with excellent customer service along the way.
ServiceNow is a platform that was created to help enterprises automate their work so that employees are able to work seamlessly through the digital landscape.
So we think of workflow as a verb, right? You can workflow anything. So ServiceNow and what we've been able to do even during current events, it's all about the workflow, right? It's automating workflow, digitizing the work environment to create a better experience for your customers and your employees. And if you think about that, 10 years ago, IT was a support function within the business. IT now is the business. Companies need to digitally transform, and the only way to do that is to be able to create great experiences and great outcomes for their customers and their employees. Our partnership with Pathways goes back 10 years to when we were just an ITSM company, and has evolved over the years where they're now delivering successful deployments across the platform, across industry. They also have a customer satisfaction rating 5 out of 5, which is unprecedented.
To learn more about Pathways Consulting, visit their website, pathwayscg.com, or watch this segment again on InsideTheBlueprint.com. Thanks for watching Inside the Blueprint. For more information on any of the products you saw today, or to find out how to become part of the show, please visit InsideTheBlueprint.com.